Hello everyone, I am Interact, this is Dead Cells, welcome back. We're just gonna start cranking on 3-cell runs, man. One of these days I will get that Cursed Sword achievement, but for now, we will just do 3-cell instead. Alright, so pretty not great start from the get-go. We're going to avoid combat as much as humanly possible here. I'm just taking out these... I say that as I start taking out other enemies. I'm just trying to take out the people that can snipe me from a distance. Well, I'm attempting to, but I'm doing quite poorly with it. Wow, nice. Alright, get me the heck out of here. I can't. What are our fixes? Burning damage to a burning target, burn when they die. Okay. Pretty decent fix there. Honesty. Honest? What? Honestly? Hello? Okay. We are trying to get a little bit of cell progress to get some Foundry progresso, as I like to call it. So we are going to kill, you know, the occasional enemy, but for the most part, I think timed doors are going to give us a little bit more in the way of cell progress than non-timed doors. This is the wrong direction. I know that because of the Vine Rune. The Vine Rune takes you to... That guy was an easy kill. The Vine Rune takes you to, whatchamacallit. That's not a place where I can stomp. I don't think I'm going to make the first door. That's becoming abundantly clear to me. Considering that I have, like... Actually, no, it's 2 minutes, so maybe I can make it. I don't know. I hate shield guys with a passion. Definitely want this. And I think we want... We have a lot of brutality on our stuff, huh? Okay, we got that one guy. We're gonna get out of there now. As I said, I'm mostly just trying to take out the ranged enemies that can actually snipe me from afar. Nope, I want to go down. Thank you. I actually do want to peep this shop because it pauses my progress and it gives me the chance to get a heavy turret. Please. Please. Alright, +2 survival. Burn when they die, enemies burn. Shots pierce. I think that one's better. Actually, you know what I think is even better? Both of them. Our dagger does actually burn, so a little bit of synergy going on there. Ooh. And then here's our exit. Cool. We have 5 seconds to get to the door. I don't think we're gonna do that. What does it show up if I click the... Okay. I was wondering on the little controller cam thing what it looks like if I, what it shows up like if I do the click. Alright, so we need to be conservative with our HP, we need to remember that. It's been a while since I've done a 3-cell run. It's been a lot of 1-cell attempting to do achievement runs. And discussing random topics like dogs barking, talking on cell phones, and art. Most of them in a very Larry David-esque way, but the last episode was actually fairly me talking from the heart kind of thing. I missed it by 3 seconds. That bothers me. That was actually me giving my actual opinions on things, namely art. A subject very, very dear to me. Art, that is. I am so annoyed by you, my friend. We are still going to try and skip most enemies, just because combat on 3-cell is iffy, at best, I would say. It carries a lot more risk than it does reward, I think is a fair way of putting it. I really need a better weapon. I love that you can just air stall by spamming the attack key. And we're gonna check all these doors because we have access to them, and typically they have good stuff. Like, there you go, 14 cells. That makes up for my lack of timed door. Whoa. I don't know, do you appreciate the more, when I focus on the game more, or when I do random Larry David style commentary or more serious commentary? Like the last episode. Last episode was very serious. If you haven't watched it, if you don't watch it for the gameplay, I would definitely go watch it for the commentary. The gameplay was, you know, I mean, look, if you've seen me play this game, you kind of, it was on par with what it normally is. Which is decent, but not super great. Wow, I actually didn't realize that our punishment was shooting out arrows, which is actually super helpful. Because it gives us a little pseudo-ranged weapon. It's going to be a little harder for me to do random commentaries on these 3-cell rounds, but I will attempt to. Oh my god. I will give an attempt to in the future, if that is what people want. People seem to have some aversion to commenting. I mean, I guess because you kind of put yourself out there, right? Which can be scary. But at the same time, it is quite helpful to have people telling me what they want to see. So I can, you know, make what people want to watch, right? Because that's kind of what I'm here for. Finally, a weapon vendor. And we have no money, so I don't really know why I'm excited for the weapon vendor. I mean, that's why I'm excited for the weapon vendor, but I need to raise the funds for that, which means I'm gonna have to actually start doing some killing. Killing is my business, and business is a little slow, honestly, today. Well, recently, I guess, not just today. Oh boy. Okay, we're good. You cheeky mother. I mean that in like the least literal sense possible. I don't believe he is a mother, nor do I believe he is very cheeky. I love that you kind of like shove them out of the way so you can get behind them. I've always thought that was kind of a nice touch that they put in the game. Like if you jump on the very edge and they're also on the very edge, you kind of take priority. I'm gonna take damage here. Maybe he's ascended into being decent at video games. I don't know, that's what I pride myself on being at least decent at video games. No, I'm nothing, you know, I'm not speedrunning this game with 100% consistency. People won't come here and be like, this guy's a god at video games. Don't need that money. I mean, maybe they do, I don't know. I would say when it comes to most games, and I have like statistics to back this up, you know, I'm not trying to brag. Oh, I guess to a certain degree I am. When it comes to most games, I'm in typically like the top roughly 15-ish%. If it's a shooter, it's typically a little more like 10-ish% percentile of players. Which, once again, I mean, I'm not attempting to brag. I'm just stating, like, that's just where my MMR is in most shooting games, right? Because that's what I play the most, is shooting video games of the first-person variety, because third-person is awful, and I wish they would stop making third-person games. Third-person shooters are like a sin. They should be illegal. That's my opinion right there, boys. Oh, but it's just a satire, so you can't. No, I understand this. Maybe it's a popular opinion. I kind of doubt it's a popular opinion, considering how popular things like Fortnite are. But is Fortnite popular because people enjoy it, or because it's free and people enjoy it? Because it's accessible. You know, it's the old accessibility versus enjoyment argument, which I guess is really more only a recent kind of discussion on video games that I guess we can get into. You know, do people enjoy games because, like, games like League of Legends, right, where it's quote-unquote free. I mean, you know, it's, you can't see my hands, but I'm doing air quotes, it's free. It's, you know, as the Penny Arcade comic says, it's oh so free, I've spent over $1,000 on it. That's an old Penny Arcade comic, by the way. Does Penny Arcade even still make comics? Alright, so we actually do damage with our sword, which is nice, but let's get back to the discussion of video games. Like, yes, it is free, right, in theory. I have played a decent amount of League of Legends in my days. I'm gonna die? Am I gonna die? I don't think I'm gonna die. Okay, I'm not gonna die. I was not too highly rated, but I never really played that game too much. I don't have very much time in it. But the time spent doesn't matter, because I spent like over a few $100s on it, I want to say. I was part of the only reason that I know that is because I was part of the Mac beta, back when the Mac beta, you can date me by how long ago there was a beta for it to be on Mac. I played League, like, closed beta, like way back in the day, right? Because I came from Dota originally, and it was supposed to be like, you know, supposed to be like the next Dota 2, right? Because Han was kind of but it was supposed to be like, you know, four people who made Dota, but like, you know, on an upgraded engine with upgraded graphics, etc., etc. So people were pretty excited about it. All the friends that I played Dota with, we started playing League. So anyways, I was part of that beta, and the beta basically failed at a point, to the point where they started offering refunds to anyone who was in the beta. So if you're part of the Mac closed beta, because League of Legends does have a pay to get heroes and cosmetics system, they offered everyone full refunds because the Mac beta was like not working out or something along those lines. I got an email being like, hey, you know, we're shutting it down or something. I'm pretty sure it works on Mac nowadays, so it's kind of weird, but I don't know why they shut it down originally. I guess they couldn't get it to function properly. And they told you how much they would offer you because of how much you had spent. And I, you know, I'm not gonna say I'm proud of it. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I believe I'd spent $900 on the game at that point. Okay, just... There we go. Thank you, Heavy Turrets. So, I had been offered a refund. I didn't take it, stupidly enough, because I was still playing the game at that time. I was like, oh no, I want to keep all my stuff. I don't play the game anymore. I wish I had taken that refund. You know, spend that on like my mortgage or something. Now I have like responsibilities and stuff that I didn't have back then, when I had a disposable income and very bad priorities. Because most of that was spent on skins, like cosmetic items, not actually on heroes, which I still think it's silly that you have to unlock heroes. I spent a fair amount of money on Dota as well. I don't really want that, thank you, though, I guess. Okay, so because of that we glitched the spawner out and actually managed to kill him without ever having him spawn anything at all, which is nifty. But, you know, I always wonder, is a game like League of Legends popular because, you know, they boast, you know, they have X amount of players playing, right? They'll always boast, you know, their numbers. Is it because it's free, though? Whereas Dota, you have to buy it for... Actually, I believe Dota's free, right? Is Dota free? Pretty sure Dota's free. Anyways, League of Legends, is it because it's free? And is that what led to the popularity? Or did the game lead to the popularity? And I don't know that there is an answer to that question. I just think it's an interesting question to ask. Like, PUBG versus Fortnite is a more recent example, right? Fortnite is free and has probably less bugs than PUBG, because PUBG has a whole lot of bugs in it, and it's some really silly bugs as well, and the developers, honestly, I could go on and on about the developers of that game. Bluehole, but is Fortnite more popular? First off, is like that's the first question. The second question is it more popular because it's free and you don't have to buy it? So like, if my friend wants to be like, hey, and I believe I have had people ask me, do you want to play Fortnite? I could be like, sure, let me just download it, instead of being like, I don't really have the $40 or $60 or whatever a game costs these days to spend on that, sorry. And they'd be like, oh, well, you know, either they were like, okay, that's fine, let's play something else, or they gift it to me. But, you know, does that lead to more popularity, being a free game? And I think game developers are wondering this as well, based on how many games are going free to play. I think there's like a make your game free to play to try and resurrect it type thing, which has worked for some games to an extent, but not so much for others. Like, I think Battle.Right recently went free to play, and that kind of revitalized the community to an extent. But I'm still curious, you know, if you make your game free with... Because there's different ways of being a free game as well, right? There's free, like League of Legends, where you still have to buy stuff, or you grind for like hundreds of hours. And then there's like the loot box, like a free like Dota, where it's all just cosmetic, but people still pay exorbitant amounts of money because they like things that look shiny. You know, is that better than having like a game that is actually free? Curse sword, what a joke. Stop offering me curse swords. Taunting me at this point. I wonder, is it better than making a game $60 and having like DLC like it used to be, right? Because those games are they still succeed to an extent. And obviously the companies make more money. But is it a better strategy to do that? Or is it a better strategy to be free to play with loot boxes or cosmetics or something like that, you know? I've wondered that about WoW. Like, why is WoW still a subscription-based game? If they made the game free, I'd still play it, right? But the fact that I'd have to pay money to play it right now, like, I don't really care enough to spend money to play WoW. And sure, they kind of alleviated that with the whole, like, you can buy it with gold thing, but that just led me to grinding a lot of gold, which meant that all my game time was spent making gold instead of actually enjoying the video game. And it felt like a job, and I quit because it was boring as heck, and I didn't want to do it anymore, because I was sick of running dungeons and doing grinding crafting professions just to be able to play the game, because that's not how video games work. I feel like I feel like video games have gotten into a really weird place recently with this whole like early access. I know that I say this while playing an early access game that I'm like 72 episodes deep in, but it's gotten in this weird place with this whole like early access era. Like, we're in like the early access era of games, right? Where you can buy the game to be able to play it before it actually comes out, and you're basically paying to be a QA tester or a beta tester for a game, which is fine, right? And then typically, if they release and they make it free or whatever. They give people who early access, like PUBG, they gave them like cosmetics, and you know, if you had bought in, those cosmetics are worth like thousands of dollars now. So it's great for people who bought in early, but you know, people who didn't, they didn't make thousands of dollars, I guess. It just feels weird. I know a lot of games make more. I think you make, typically, if you have a dedicated player base, you'll make more money if you are a free game. In the long run, using kind of, I mean, they are a business, so it is their job to make money, but it does feel kind of scummy the way that they do it sometimes, you know, relying on whales and whatnot, which is the industry term. I'm not insulting people by calling them that. That's the industry term for people who spend a lot of money on typically freemium games, which is like mobile stuff like Clash of Clans, Summoner's War, that type deal. Speaking of, I have played Summoner's War. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I know they've been going around sponsoring people recently, which I think is kind of hilarious. I bet my friend wishes he could get a sponsorship for that, because he played a lot of it, spent a lot of money on it, streamed it a while. Got decently popular streaming it, actually, which is kind of funny, because he doesn't even play it anymore. If he was still playing it, he could probably get a sponsorship, help pay for his doctorate. Hindsight 2020, you know? And that does have, like, I mean, honestly, in that game, he was a whale for all intents and purposes. I'm pretty sure he spent thousands of dollars on that game, and it's a mobile game. He literally just spent it for, like, extra chances at getting rare monsters, pretty much. Which I think is silly, but, like, I mean, he's a smart guy. He just really enjoys that game. So he's a smart guy because, you know, he's literally, like, getting a doctorate. I don't think I want the flaming things. Also, the extra damage reduction is nice. Wait, do I still have? No, that's just the effect. Okay. I think I'll look for a better frantic sword if I can find it. Yeah, wow, cursed swords. Why are those on my cursed sword friends, you jerks? Toxic cloud when they die, fires arrows upward and forward. Yeah, that's good. I just wonder, you know, how much popularity do games get by being free? Is there like a statistical way to... I doubt there is. But I would definitely be interested to see if there's like a way of measuring the increase in quote-unquote sales, since you're not actually selling anything. I guess downloads or plays for being free as opposed to being a game that you have to buy. Even if it is like a small price tag. Like, I know Rainbow Six has like a starter edition that is like 20 bucks, and that game is absolutely... I bought that game when it first came out. I think it's absolutely worth it if you enjoy... I don't know that I would really call it all that tactical at this point, but if you enjoy first-person shooters, it's a really good game. The netcode's a little wonky at times. It has its issues, but what game doesn't, you know? I don't think any game is without issues. I don't think there is, like, the perfect 10 out of 10 game. Besides, you know, Legend of Zelda, I don't know what insert popular opinion about video. The Witcher 3, there we go. I think The Witcher 3 is the new hottest thing to call the best game of all time ever created. CD Projekt Red is literally Jesus, etc., etc. Haven't actually finished that game. Been meaning to, but single player games I'm a little weird with. I really enjoy competition, and that leads me to tend towards a multiplayer game type of approach to my video game consumption. You might say, why have you recorded 73 episodes of Dead Cells at this point then? I don't know, because I really like this game. And because roguelites are kind of like a competition against the game. Because they're challenging. It's the same reason I like Dark Souls. Because sure, it's a single player game, there is multiplayer aspects to it, but it's not like you're fighting an AI that's easy. It's easy once you get it down, but it takes dedication and perseverance to actually progress. Which gives me that competitiveness that I need in order to enjoy a game. We're gonna take this because we have alienation and we need the upgrades. Knife Storm would be nice, but I think we're gonna stick with what we got. Hopefully we can get to this boss pretty quickly and spend these cells. Right now we've got at least 1 1/4 of an upgrade towards a making something S tier. I have no idea what I'm going to S tier, honestly. Like at this point I'm still kind of worrying about what I'm going to be S tiering. I'm actually gonna stand right here, so it has a better chance of hitting what I wanted to hit. Alright, curse lifted, which is really what I was doing that for. I'm not planning on progressing through the rest of this game by doing that. So the exit's, that's not the exit, never mind. I was gonna say the exit's right there because it's that orange thing. I thought the exit was orange. Maybe it's a different color based on what exit it is. Why are you shocking me already? I'm confused. I was like barely in the range of that thing and it just started zapping me. I guess we're gonna go this way? I'm not really sure where the exit is, but I do want to kind of fully explore Ossuary, as I've said many times before, because it does have a very high amount of scrolls in it. It's one of the best areas to go to if you're looking to get Scrollio. Or Scroll, which is Swole and Scroll combined. I've talked about it before. It's a bad joke. That's gonna lag me up real bad. Yep. Love that that bug's still in the game. Honestly, I'm sure they're aware of it, but I might just put out an actual bug report for that, because maybe people have done exactly what I just did and been like, oh, they're aware of it. Why would I put in a bug report? So maybe I will be the guy who actually puts in the actual bug report. Just to guarantee that they're aware of it. Would you stop, please? I don't want that. No, I don't want that. That's a weird old meme video from a while back that I don't even know why people showed it to me, but I am aware of its existence. Thanks to the notorious hacker known as 4chan. That segment of the news, man, that's a classic right there. Thinking that 4chan is a person. What a classic North American media meme. I really hate that you're focusing on that shield guy. Can we focus on literally anyone else? Please? Please? Where is the exit to this place? I want to be free of this prison of my own making. Is that the exit? No. I want the sweet satisfaction of freedom. And the American way. Which is kind of redundant, right? Because freedom is the American way, am I right, boys? I hate that you have to roll so precisely to have that not just damage you. Didn't want to do that, but thanks, I guess. really just wanted to do this. It's a little awkward to fight that thing because it's kind of stuck in a portal. Are you the exit? Are you my mother? Please, I would like to escape from this prison of my own creation. Ooh. Please be the exit. You could be the exit though. If you had one opportunity to be the exit, would you take that opportunity? Or just let it slip? Okay, seriously though? I would like that boneless exit now, please. Is that an old meme by now? It's probably really old by now. That's not the exit. This is a door. Still not the exit though. It's my boy Cursed Chest. Give me what you got, my friend. Why do I keep opening these, you might be asking? I did it for the vine. So that's dead because vine is dead. I have alienation, so it basically heals me, even though I didn't really need to be healed there. It's essentially just a free scroll if you play it properly, which I'm hoping to do. So there's no reason to not take those with alienation. It's basically why alienation exists, is to be your source of healing in 3-cell runs. I'm glad my curse was purged there. Which is why a lot of people have actually been calling for a nerf of alienation, because it is actually a little on the strong side when it comes to 3-cell runs. Because you don't have Sunny D to rely on. Wow, there's the exit. Okay, did we actually just full clear this place without even meaning to? Neat. You don't have Sunny D to rely on as heavily, so you kind of need to rely on alienation to heal you. Which is a little silly because mutations are supposed to be about, you know, personal choice and build diversity, but there isn't really much build diversity in 3-cell because alienation is basically required. I could skip this boss if I felt like it. I believe that glitch is still in, but I don't want to because I'm not a cheater. I am many things, but a cheater is not one of them. Hit me. Yeah, that's what I thought, nerd. Why do I reset my turrets so frequently? I don't know, because I have the cooldown reduction mutation, and I might as well. I don't have any reason not to. Ooh, that's a lot of damage that I'm not happy about. Taking damage to the red aura on this guy is, like, pretty unforgivable. He's gonna jump. I actually thought I may have not dodged at the right time to avoid that jump, and I was a little concerned. I kind of wish he had dropped just a few more, just 18 more cells, so I could have gotten 2 things progressed fully, but oh well. Alright, missed the time door by a fair amount, I believe. So what do we want to upgrade to an S tier? What do we not have at S tier that we want to add S tier, is the question. War Spear is not S tier yet. Well, let's solve that issue right off the bat. Shovel? Heavy crossbow. Hunter's longbow, I think, does have an interesting playstyle, albeit a little passive. It is a little bit of a passive playstyle, but it is still interesting. I think, honestly, we might go with... I'm gonna go with Punishment, just so I have an S tier shield, in case I want to do shield runs. And then I think I'm gonna start putting points into Hunter's Longbow. So now we can use War Spear if we want to, and we can use Punishment. We're gonna stick with what we have because we don't really have a build for Punishment. This guy will never have anything for me. Never in history. And I hate Fog Fjord, so we're going Sanctuary. Maybe we can get multiple things to S tier. That would be really, really nice. I would appreciate that very, very much. Apologies, I was taking a drink of water. I know that this is a little heavier on the talking about the game side of things, but I mean, you know, I do kind of have to focus a little bit on 3-cell, so I don't just like throw it all away. You know, try so hard and get so far, but in the end it doesn't even matter. I don't want to have a situation like that. Where is this vape dude? Alright, vape Nation. I believe he actually had a guy with him. That's interesting. She got for me in the traps and turrets department. I think I would like to upgrade my turrets, please. Please? Sir? Okay, thank you. Shots pierce, extra damage to a burning and frozen target. I think we're going to... Actually, that one doesn't pierce, so... I'm gonna get rid of the one that doesn't pierce, because piercing's important. It's an interesting topic of conversation, I guess. Body modification / piercings. I feel like it's kind of become more of a normal thing to do. You know, a little bit of body modding. I believe that that's an appropriate term for it. I hope it is. I hope I'm not offending people by calling it that. I feel like to an extent it is. I don't know if I want to use the word cool. To an extent, I get it. Probably a better way of saying that. I think it is. You know, done properly, it looks nice. It can look cool. You know, a little different. It's the same thing as tattoos. I think like a long time ago, where people were like, "Oh, tattoos. You know, only like sailors and charlatans have that, right?" I think it's a little. It might not be culturally accepted at the moment, but I think it will get to a point. Just wait on these things. It will get to a point where it becomes like having tattoos, where it's not for everyone, but you won't like look at someone weird because you see that they have, you know, like gauges or whatever. It's gonna hurt really badly. Ow. I think it is just like the tattooing of our age, era, society. What's the proper word here? Because I think tattoos, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like they've become a little bit more mainstream. You know, it's not like it was back in like, I'm talking like forever ago, where it was like, you know, I think I'm actually going to keep the one that I have just because of the projectile damage reduction. And it's a lot more HP. Where it was kind of like, you know, only prisoners and sailors get tattoos, right? Nowadays it's like, you know, kind of fairly common. I'm not going to say it's like normal, because normal is not the proper term. But it's common to see people with tattoos. You don't see someone with a tattoo and go, "Ooh, they have a tattoo." You're like, "Oh yeah, cool, they have a tattoo." Or you go, "Oh, I don't like that. I don't like tattoos." Alright, it's gonna heal us a little bit. Give us that extra edge that we need, maybe. Probably not, but maybe. But it's not uncommon to see people with tattoos. I have a few tattoos as well. I know a lot of people in my age group which I guess would be considered millennials. Am I considered a millennial? I'm pretty sure that I am. Although I kind of would contest that I have the same mindset as a millennial, but you know, whatever. It's a group of people. I was born in the right time period to be considered one. I'm not saying I would prefer to be part of a different generation. I think our generation has it quite nice, actually. We have issues. Every generation has issues, though. Like, I would rather not have been, you know, drafted for the Vietnam War. Or something along those lines, right? Okay, well I can't go that way basically because I have a curse, and I'm gonna die if I do it. I think people that are like, well, oh, I wish I was born in the medieval era because I could have been a king. I'm like, dude, they didn't have, like... They thought that leeches was the way to solve every illness. You really think that's where you want to be? Like, willingly? You willingly want to go back to that? To coming in with, like, the flu, and then being like, oh, it's the devil, let's, you know, put leeches on him and beat him with a blessed stick until he gets better. Like, I don't really want to go back to that. I kind of like modern medicine. I think modern medicine's pretty good. I'd like to stick with modern medicine, please. Hopefully there's not enemies, okay. Well, that's saddening. I was hoping there'd be enemies so I could cleanse this curse. I might have to go through that trap area. Or people who are like, you know, posting on Twitter or whatever, oh, I wish I was born in the 70s, you know, experienced Woodstock and stuff. I'm like, yeah, but you wouldn't have your cell phone to be posting on Twitter. Doesn't this seem a little hypocritical to you? This is gonna suck. I hate this. Whew, okay, I made it. Jeez, I really didn't think I was gonna make that. These kamikazes scared the hell out of me when I'm doing this, dude. Okay. Alright, curse lifted. Thank you very, very much. I actually don't think I want to take that. Was that a tinted wall that I've missed? It is. Ooh, look at that. Once again, yes, I know they're not called tinted walls. No one actually... Well, I mean, people probably actually do call it that. It's not the right term for it. It's an Isaac joke, like, haha, I play roguelites. Has anyone else heard of this sweet indie game that nobody's ever heard of? It's called The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. It's my favoriteest hipster game to play, because no one else has ever heard of, yeah, this little-known game developer named Edmund McMillan. Ever heard of that guy? Never made, you know, Super Meat Boy. You might have heard of it if you were in the right circles. Everyone knows who freaking Edmund is, dude. It's like the prodigal son of the indie genre. Maybe prodigal son's not the right term, but you know what I mean. The poster child, maybe? Poster child might be a better term. Everyone wants to make the next Meat Boy because everyone knows what Meat Boy is. Everyone wants to be, like, indie developers want to be Breadmond. And yes, I call him Breadmond. Because I know him personally. We are personal friends. I do not know Edmund McMillan. I wish I did. He seems like a really cool guy. But I doubt I will ever get to talk to him. Unless I get somehow, like, stupidly popular, and then maybe I can talk to him. About how much I hate The End Is Nigh. And now I'm probably never going to finish that game. Because I suck at platformers. I mean, I would love to talk to him if I got the opportunity to. And if that opportunity does arise, please be well aware I will be talking to Edmund and probably talking to him way too freaking much. So I mean, Edmund, if you hear me, if you ever watch this for whatever reason, I don't know why you would ever find this video, but hit me up, dude. Twitter's in the description below. Love to pick your brain about video games. And art as well. Probably have to pay him a lot of money to actually get like an interview, you know? I don't know, does he charge? Can you charge for interviews if you're an indie dev? Does it like go against the indie dev code? I mean, the man's gotta eat, right? He's got a family. Pretty sure he has a kid on the way. Or does he already have a kid? I can't remember. Either way, you know, man's gotta put food on the table. He only sold so many copies of Isaac and Meat Boy. Which is probably already sold, you know, enough to last him forever. I hate these golems, they're so tanky. Mostly I would like to talk to Edmund about how I hate the Endless Knife. And I detest him for ever making it. How dare he make a challenging game that I'm bad at, you know? The nerve of some people, I swear. I know I just suck at it. I would love to like be decent at it and actually be able to finish it. That might just be a pipe dream though. I'm not sure if I'm ever going to get good enough to beat that game. I plan on attempting at the very least, but I find myself struggling to beat Anguish, which is not even like the final level of the game. There's still like 4 or 5 more levels after that. They get increasingly harder. I can barely even backtrack properly to get more tumors. I just straight up suck at that game. But I acknowledge that, you know? I'm not one of those people that's gonna be like, well, the game's rigged. These levels are unfair. No, I just suck at platformers, dude. Plain and simple. When it comes to a precision platformer, I ain't any good. I can barely beat like a Mario Brothers game. I think I can beat freaking Meat Boy or Endless Knife. Alright, so hopefully we can get through this level and the boss and put the cells into the things and do the progress stuff. Why do I keep talking to that guy? I know that he literally has nothing to say to me. I think I actually do want to reset. I think I want alienation still. But I think I also want just damage near a deployed skill. I don't know that I need the incremental healing, because I have alienation if I really desperately need healing. Maybe the incremental healing does more than I think it does. I guess ideally I wouldn't ever be getting hit, so I wouldn't need to heal. Which I think is kind of like the theory behind 3-cell, is that you're so good you dodge everything. I'm obviously not that good, as evidenced by all the damage I've taken in this run. Although I feel like a lot of it is from traps, and less from enemies. There's an idea motion twin. A mutation that makes you take like 75% reduced damage from traps. Put that in the game, for God's sake, please. I would take that every single run. Because I am just a very dumb person who cannot deal with simple little spikes on the ground. Apologies for the dog barking. Probably, you know, a neighbor thought it was a nice day and wanted to go outside. And honestly, how dare they? Don't they know that my dog watches the window 24/7 to make sure that no one is enjoying the outside world near our house? You see, that just bothers me. I mean, I know that Spike is there to do that to me, not me specifically. I mean, probably me specifically. If the devs watch these videos, they may have designed this with me in mind. They're like, yeah, that Interact guy puts out videos and doesn't play our game very well. Let's put all these spikes in this last area that's got like the best music and the coolest designed enemies and screw him over. Teach him to play our game. I don't know, why are the devs punishing me in this scenario? I have no idea. I'm not getting enough exposure for their game or something? I have no idea. Motion Twin, if you watch this, I love you guys. I appreciate everything you've done with this game. I'm just gonna talk to everyone who's popular as if they watch my videos. And then maybe one day it'll happen. I'm dead. I'm dead, dog. I'm the deadest of dead. I'm the deadest anyone has ever been in the history of dead. Like, I am the walking dead right now. Okay. I still think we take the projectile reduction damage. Because I really do think it is that important. Oh my goodness, if we can make it through this assassin fight, we will actually have so many cells to spend. It'll be glorious. We can get like 3 or 4 things up to S tier. I know that all these doors are gambles, basically, of being able to not take damage while progressing. I'm in a bad place right now, friends. So to help me out, please donate to my Patreon. I don't have a Patreon. If I had a Patreon, no one would donate to it. I don't even want to go through the trouble of setting one up. Although maybe I should take the name just so that other guy who has my name, the other guy who uses the name Interact, doesn't take it for me. I'm so dumb. Anyways, thank you for watching. We got some progress, which is fine. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, feel free to leave a like, leave a comment with anything that I talked about in the video, and subscribe for more in the future. I do appreciate everyone who watches these videos, whether you be Breadmond or the devs of this game, or just, you know, a random guy named John who lives in France, or wherever. Thank you for watching once again. I do appreciate it. I will see you in the next episode, hopefully, and goodbye.